I started doing social media when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
I started off with modeling, just posting modeling pictures on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Then I gained a little bit of a following. I think I had like 40,000 when I was in middle school. Yes.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Miracle Mindset Podcast. I am Robbi Jan, your host, and today with me I have an extra special guest. One of my beautiful friends, Kornelia is here with me in the studio. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
For those of you who are not watching us on YouTube or on Spotify video, basically let me explain to you, Kornelia is probably the most gorgeous person I've ever seen. If you're imagining a blonde, glowy angel, that is basically her. But more than that, you know, she's also one of the most kind, humble, just like beautiful souls I've ever met. So I'm really excited to sit down with you today and to, you know, just to chat.
Yes, I'm so excited too. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be really fun. So I start the podcast every episode off by asking my guests, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Yeah, so I would say follow your intuition. I feel like you could ask so many people for advice, but at the end of the day, it's about what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just following your intuition is, I think, my number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just have all the answers inside of you, and I truly believe that.
Gut instinct is a big one.
Instinct, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in that so
you know,
much.
and like it's kind of like that you get a feeling sometimes and you can ignore it, and then it comes back to haunt you eventually.
Yeah,
you know?
literally. That like feeling in your stomach or in your chest.
Mhm.
You know how they say like you get butterflies around someone? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that type of feeling.
Yeah.
Intuition.
Energy is a very real thing, and intuition
It
and gut,
is.
it's wow, good advice. I think that pertains to like every aspect of our life.
Every single important decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like insane.
So for people at home who may not know who you are, I'm sure a lot of you have actually seen Kornelia come up on your FYP page on TikTok. She makes these incredible makeup videos and she chats to the camera and has incredible style. So for everyone at home who may not be aware of who you are yet, can you just give them a little bit of a background about who you are and kind of how you got to where you are right now?
Yeah, so I started doing social media when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
I started off with modeling, just posting modeling pictures on my Instagram.
Mhm.
Then I gained a little bit of a following. I think I had like 40,000 when I was in middle school. Yeah, so that's how I
crazy.
started out when it comes to social media. Modeling I got into because a lady in the mall, she gave me like a business card and she was like, you need to be a model. I think I was like 11 at the time.
She just came up to you like that?
Mhm.
See,
I think it was like an agent or something. I was just shopping with my mom and she just comes up to us and she's like, you need to be a model.
Okay, wait, can I tell you something super
Yeah.
embarrassing? And I've never said this before on camera. This is, okay, when I was in America, I came in from Australia and I did like a year here,
Yeah.
my freshman year. And I remember hearing someone got scouted at the mall. They were at the mall and an agency came up to them and they're like, you have to be a model. So I remember getting dressed up to go to the mall with my girlfriends. And I remember I was like catwalking and they're like, what are you doing? I was like, in case I get scouted.
Agents?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Spoiler, never got scouted. Not a model, but I'm happy with that.
Oh my goodness, you could totally be. Are you kidding?
That's crazy. So you got scouted, you became
Yeah.
a model, and what was that like?
So first I went to a modeling school.
Okay.
More of a talent school. And then they were teaching like modeling and like
Yeah.
how to walk, how to act
Yeah.
in front of a camera. So
Wow.
that's what I did for like about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually I started gaining contacts. So with photographers, I started doing like shoots. It was like nothing crazy, just for the experience, honestly. And then eventually COVID came around and I started doing TikTok. So
Yes.
that's how I kind of went viral.
Yeah.
I just started posting like lip syncing videos.
Yeah.
And it was just with like pretty makeup on and people loved it. So it just got like millions of views. And that's how I gained my audience on TikTok.
Yeah.
Then eventually I went into makeup and doing makeup tutorials.
Yeah, you
So-
have the like perfect makeup.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it definitely took a while. I learned off of YouTube how to do makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I would like sit at home and watch like YouTube videos. And that's eventually how I learned.
Who's your favorite YouTube makeup artist?
Oh my goodness. I used to watch Jaclyn Hill.
Yeah, she's great.
She is amazing. I always loved the way she did her eye makeup, her liner, and it's so surreal because she now sends me PR. So it's like
Stop.
insane to get her like stuff in the mail and just like knowing that that's the person that taught me how to do makeup.
Wow, so you had 40,000 followers in middle school. Like that is, it's kind of like hard for me to fathom. That's incredible.
It was insane. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that also came with a lot of people talking and just being in school. I was so young. I would
Yeah.
get so many people that like made fun of my modeling pictures or
Wow.
Like, I would get bullied in middle school for having like a larger following.
And then as you grew up, is that something that got worse, the bullying, or is it something that kind of like got better?
No, never got better. I would say
Wow.
just people love to say stupid stuff because it makes them feel, I don't know, better about themselves.
Yeah.
But in middle school, it started when I first started posting like my beauty shots on Instagram. People would like look up my name, like Kornelia Sky, and they'd like show me those pictures and be like, oh my goodness, like she thinks she's all that, or like saying all these stupid stuff. And I mean, it got to me a little bit. I mean, I was like 12 years old. So it definitely got to me, but eventually I just learned not to care. It's just like people are always gonna say things, and it was so stupid.
I mean, to be fair, it's always easier to say than to do, to like ignore that noise going on around you, especially when you have to go somewhere every day and like you know people are whispering, or you can see the looks. Like it's hard to be around. For
sure, yeah. No, I definitely learned that from a very young age. It definitely forced me into a situation, but I feel like in high school it still continued. It's not like it stopped. And then with my TikTok following as well.
Yeah.
I was a junior before I went to homeschooling. So
it got so bad that you literally had to do homeschooling.
I would say I did homeschooling for kind of both reasons.
Yeah,
just to get away from everything and for work as well. Yeah, just to have more time. But no, definitely. I don't think it ever stopped, but I just learned not to care.
And it's interesting because, you know, you pulled out of school for those two reasons, but like to work while you're doing school, like in that job it's like, that's a big deal. Like I was working as a dental assistant and then at an Indian restaurant, like two jobs that taught me a lot that I loved. But you know, you're in this career, like that's a lot of pressure. Like you're communicating with brands, you have a manager, like you're shooting like deals and campaigns, and like that's a lot of pressure.
I know. I mean, it definitely got really hard. I would miss so much school. I would miss so much school. I'd be behind on everything. And my managers are the ones that like actually convinced me to do homeschooling. They're like, you need to. And obviously I talked to you about it as well. So I just kind of got everyone's opinion on it. And then I was like, like I have to talk to my parents about this. Like it's getting really bad. Because eventually when you're just not in school, you don't have the same learning experience and you just fall behind on everything. So I felt like homeschooling was just like the thing I needed to do, because just to do something on my own schedule so I could actually combine everything together. Yeah.
And have you regretted that decision at all?
No. I'm doing senior year right now on online school, and it's the best thing ever. Just like doing a full year and like having my own schedule, being super flexible, and actually being able to learn on my own time. That's like the best thing in the world. So
after I graduated, I was like seeing patients full time, working in dentistry. I wanted to do another degree in business and accounting.
Oh my God.
And so I started studying it online, and I was like shook, like because for me, that was my learning style. I studied better online independently than I did going to lectures and like, you know, taking notes like that. Like I'm like, okay, I feel like studying now, I'll do an hour.
Same thing with me. And I'm also planning to do online college, so. So you're gonna do college? Yes.
What are you thinking?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Every time everyone asks me, I'm like, I don't know. Like I just come up with some random degree, but like, honestly, maybe like social media marketing or something like that. I don't think I'm ever gonna use my college degree, but just to do it.
I mean, it's good to have it. You know, education is never wasted, and you don't have to do it full time either. You can always do it like, you know, a couple units.
Exactly.
I'm a huge advocate for having for having that degree behind you, feeling empowered, because it's always a fallback.
Okay, of course.
At the end of the day, like, you know, whatever happens, you've got that.
Exactly. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, I was actually talking with my mom about it because she was so worried that I wasn't gonna go, and I was like, if there is a option for me to do online college, I'm 100% doing it. I was like, why not? I'm probably gonna have free time. I mean, like today, like I don't have work or anything. Like I was just doing school, so I'm like, I could definitely combine it. It's not gonna be too bad. And if I could do online, why not?
But you've got a little bit of time.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've got like, you know, the next like, what is it, like 6 months to figure it out?
Yeah, like 6 months.
6 months. This, you know, the world can change in 6 months.
Exactly. So who knows?
You're gonna figure it out.
For sure.
I met Kornelia over a year ago, October last year. I met you. So just coming up on a year. And I remember you kind of told me about some of the stuff going on. But the thing that like really took me by surprise was you're so kind and you're so humble. And I think that's such a breath of fresh air. And that's one of the reasons I genuinely believe you're going to be so successful. Like you will be the next Kendall Jenner, because you have this attitude of humility.
Thank you. I feel like that comes just from like growing up, like, my mom's always been so humble about everything, and I'm so grateful for her. So I think she's, like, the reason why I'm like this, for sure.
That's very cool. And you're an only child, right?
Yeah, I'm an only child.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what was that like growing up as an only child?
I've always had so many friends because my parents would make sure that we'd always have people at the house. But honestly, I mean, you always want something you can't have. I've always wanted a brother. Yeah. But I can't even imagine myself with a sister. I mean, it's been great. I love it. I feel like my parents always gave me the most time, and I was never like in a weird situation. So it's like, honestly, not bad. I liked it.
So you're living in New York now, but you haven't always lived here. So where did you guys move from?
Yeah, so I lived in Poland until I was 9 years old. And then I came here to Long Island. We moved in with some family, and my parents came here for work. Yeah. So we just packed 3 suitcases, one for each of us, and we literally moved across the world. It was really crazy because I came here not knowing the language at all, and I was
So you didn't speak any English?
I didn't speak any English, nope.
Wow.
So neither did my parents. Yeah. So we just kind of came here. I mean, my mom went to college here, so she got it pretty quickly. So did I. Yeah. But I was basically shoved into a school, like, not knowing anything. I remember I had to take like 5 ESL classes a day. Wow. And they would like translate things for me on the screen. So. Wow. But I learned the language really quickly. I think it took me like about 2 months to like speak fluently.
Yeah. 2 months?
2 months. Yeah.
2 months.
I mean, when you're in
2 months, damn.
When you're in school, like, especially as such a young child, age, then you just get it like really fast. So eventually, I was like actually speaking full sentences, and you had to ask questions if I didn't know something. So yeah, about 2 months, I would say.
That must have
got it really quickly.
Really hard moving to a new country, like a new culture and a new language.
I mean, it was. I remember my first day of school, I literally almost fainted in the class.
Because you were so like
so
just
scared.
Like so much going on.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in and I didn't understand anything that anybody was saying to me. It was like, it was scary. It was really scary.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with Alex, my boyfriend. He's Brazilian. Yeah. And he spoke Portuguese when he moved here, and he said the same thing. Like, he would go to class and like people would think that he was like, you know, stupid because he didn't understand what was going on. And that, you know, I'm not sure, did you have any experiences like that where people kind of weren't super
Honestly,
friendly or?
I feel like my first school that I ever went to, it was in East Meadow. And the people there were so kind. Yeah. The kids there. Like, I came into 3rd grade. Yeah. So everybody was so kind. I didn't really have that issue, but when I switched schools to the town that I live now, elementary school was really hard. I remember I always had an accent growing up, so it was like people would make fun of me for that. Yeah. And then I remember it was so hard to make friends. And then I finally made a friend. She was Polish. And then we kind of just like created a group. But that was all the way in like 5th grade. So it definitely took me time to adjust.
Wow. And there's quite a big Polish community here, isn't there? In New York.
Yes, there is. There is.
I keep meeting Polish people.
Yes.
And they're always really, really nice, is what I'm finding.
No, we're great.
You've been through a huge life change. I'll just let you talk about that a little bit.
I recently broke up with my boyfriend. We were dating for 2 years. And he was also Polish, so my parents obviously loved him so much. But I feel like it just got to a point where it just wasn't healthy for the both of us. I mean, like, I couldn't give him what he wanted, he couldn't give me what I wanted. And obviously, like, being a social media influencer, doing modeling at the same time is not easy while keeping a relationship healthy and giving them the time that they need. So, yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and I feel like just things weren't working out the way they used to. I mean, me and him were both going different ways. He had his own things. I was obviously going into this whole huge modeling thing, so it just, we didn't have our paths aligned. Yeah, unfortunately, but I've been doing great.
Yeah, how are you coping with everything? That's a big change because you did those are big years, you know, 16, 17, 18, like they're big years.
Yeah,
a lot of changes.
I feel like I'm just happy that I can learn to be independent again and just rely on myself instead of like constantly feeling like I need emotional support from somebody. I think it's refreshing for sure. Just being by yourself, being happy with yourself. I feel like often you get so lost in relationships, and I feel like that's what happened to me. I just slowly started losing myself and like my personality. So just being able to be alone and figure things out on your own again makes it really nice.
So I'm sure because of your social media following, you're probably getting a lot of DMs. I'm sure. What is the worst DM that you've ever gotten? Like a pickup line that you just remember and you're like, that was so bad. It's etched in my brain.
Oh my God. I remember there was this trend on TikTok where they were like dropping like the dog emoji into like DMs. And they were like, oh, like I lost my dog.
Stop
and then
it.
here it is. Like I found it. How
No.
are you? Sorry for like interrupting.
No,
Whatever,
that's
like,
so bad.
That's probably one of the worst. And I've gotten like hundreds of those. I remember I used to scroll, like somebody would be like, oh, I lost my cat. And they'd put like the cat emoji.
So I have a couple questions from people, and you do as well.
Yeah.
You also put up a poll up on your Instagram, or sorry, Q&A box.
Mhm.
So we'll get to a couple of those.
Yeah.
But first, I just want to quickly touch back on TikTok, because I know a lot of people watching us at home are also trying to build their following.
Yeah, I would say try to be your authentic self on TikTok. I think people right now especially look for very organic content, just like content that comes from your heart, not something that's scripted or like very edited. I would just say be yourself, and that's it. Just honestly.
Yeah, and no, don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't overthink it or don't over edit it. It's like people really love natural content, and like give your best advice. Like don't even care about a brand or something like that. If you really love something, then give your honest and best advice on it.
So one of the questions we have from girls is about your workout routine.
My workout routine.
Do you have a workout routine?
So I did. I actually stopped working out like a few months ago. But what I would do is I would train lots of abs and legs. And then when I got into modeling, they like took measurements of me. And they were like, yeah, no, you have to stop working out. Like,
So they wanted you to lose weight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not necessarily lose weight. They wanted me to lose the muscles and stop getting so like bulky around my legs and my thighs.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That must be an interesting part of modeling, you know, having to get the measurements. Like that must be hard sometimes.
I feel like modeling does put a lot of pressure on how your body looks and just like
Yeah.
overall image. And it's super hard getting around that because that obviously affects your mental health a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did have to stop going to the gym, but it's okay. Honestly, I just try to eat a clean diet. I try not to eat too much like bad stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just eat really healthy. I eat a lot of chicken and quinoa. I love quinoa.
Quinoa's good.
Quinoa's really good. Or like little lettuce wraps. Oh my God, I love those.
Yes. I do have another question from someone asking you tips for modeling.
So for modeling, I would say get a really good agency. If an agency offers you a contract and you have to pay some kind of fee for it, then don't do it.
Okay.
That's like the biggest scam. You should never have to pay for a contract. Make sure to get yourself a mother agent. Before you get into modeling, you have to have someone that will protect you and that has your back, because modeling agencies, once you sign a contract, after that contract is over, you have no guarantee of staying with that agency. They could kick you out anytime. So protect yourself. Get yourself a mother agent. She'll fight for you. And if a modeling agency does end up like kicking you out after the contract, then she's gonna get you another one. It's like,
I was gonna say, my best piece of advice for getting into modeling is if you're gonna go to the mall to try to get scouted, make sure your catwalk is really good.
yes. Make sure your hair is really slicked back.
Yeah. I can't believe I told you that. Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. I literally can't.
14-year-old me is like screaming right now that I told you that.
I freaking love that though. But yeah, and then when you go to castings, wear little to no makeup. They usually prefer no makeup. So just really clean, natural.
Yeah.
They want to see
the no
you.
makeup look.
Yeah, they want to see you.
Did you want to answer a couple of yours?
Yeah, let's do it. How is your skin so good? What skincare do you use?
Okay, that you probably got that one a lot.
I do. I see like 6 of these. Okay, so for skincare, I usually try obviously clean, healthy diet. I think vitamins are so important. Like this is such an like overlooked step. Like I feel like you also have to like eat really healthy and get in a lot of vitamins for your skin to be like looking great, like biotin and all of that. So I take a lot of zinc, biotin, and vitamin B12. I feel like that helps really.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
But for topical stuff, I use a lot of vitamin C. I use microretinol, I think it's called. I
don't know that one.
I can't use actual
low
retinol.
dose retinol. Yeah.
I can't use actual retinol.
It can make you break out.
Yes, it makes me break out, and it's like my skin just gets really red after it. So I use a microdose retinol. It's from Kiehl's, I think. It's really great.
Love Kiehl's.
Love Kiehl's.
They have great stuff.
Yeah, so I just use microretinol, vitamin C, and a really good moisturizer. Yeah. Having a good skin barrier, I feel like, is your number one thing. That should be your number one priority. Making sure not to strip your skin of all your natural oils, because at the end of the day, that's what protects your skin from everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my skincare routine.
Preach it. No, that's great.
Have you ever been insecure?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question. I feel like everyone has insecurities. I mean, I'm obviously not perfect, and I don't think that I am. I do have a lot of insecurities, and I feel like all my life, like the whole middle school thing, like people making fun of my pictures, I was always insecure, always. And I feel like you learn to love yourself eventually, and you learn to love the things that you hate about yourself. And it comes with age, obviously. It comes with just life experiences. But yeah, I definitely have been insecure, and I'm still dealing with it. But
what do you do when you catch yourself being insecure? Do you pull yourself up on it?
I will think why I'm thinking that about myself. And then honestly, just positive thoughts. I try to journal. That I feel like helps a lot. If you just like write your feelings out. If you don't want to talk to anybody, journaling's really great. Just like letting everything out.
Yeah, sometimes you write stuff you don't even realize that you're feeling.
Yes, exactly.
Which is powerful.
Or I'll read books. That's also another thing that helps me out. Just getting in the right space of mind.
Something that I was really, really insecure about, like growing up, was I had broken my nose. So I have like a big bump. You guys can probably see it from the side angle.
I have a bump too.
It's tiny. I was so insecure about it, and it's so funny. Like, I kind of forget about it now because I don't see it from the front. It's just like when I see footage of videos or photos of myself from the side, I'm like, oh, there she is. And then the other day I was watching a movie, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been, so it was something on Netflix, and I saw one of the main characters had like a bump in her nose, and I was like, that's actually so cool.
Yeah.
And it made me feel less insecure. It made me actually feel empowered. I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe someone can, you know, I can be the person people look at and be like, oh, yeah, maybe it is normal. And I'm sure, like, you know.
Oh my God, it's so normal.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
So
I was always insecure about my little bump too, but I don't even care now. It's like a lot of people have like weird bumps. It's okay. And you have to love your nose, how it is.
Good advice. Look, thank you so much for sitting down with us. This was so much fun. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Definitely go check out Kornelia's socials. I'm calling it here first. She will be the next big thing. So go check it out. She's incredibly just genuine and beautiful. And, you know, that's just exactly what we like here on the podcast. And thank you for sharing with us all your tips and tricks. And
thank you so much for having me.
Really proud to see all, you know, all the growth and everything you're doing. And we'll definitely have you back on the podcast one day.
100%. I'd love to be back.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.